I did my first interview ever, which was in Greenwich, may that interview rest in perfect peace. It was horrible. Hi, welcome to Guyssss channel. Today we're going to be discussing portfolio interview for my architectural brothers and sisters and any other person that actually needs to do a portfolio interview for UK schools. I'm going to be sharing my experience and what I think the necessary things are that they do ask in the portfolio. So if you want to know more about these things, be sure to continue to watch this video. And my name is Guyssss. If this is the first time you're seeing my face on this YouTube thing, I talk about UK school processes, my experiences with the UK school process, my live vlog and acne, all of those things I want to talk about in my channel. But today we're talking about Japan processes. So let's see, how does this portfolio interview actually go? Be sure to continue to watch this video to find out. Okay, so I want to say a portfolio interview is just like a normal interview, you know, that every other school, because some schools do credibility interview for you, but for somebody that studied architecture or graphics design or any course that require you to do a portfolio, you might have to do a portfolio interview. You might, because it's not actually compulsory for all schools. Some schools just assess your portfolio in their offices. They don't let you know about it. But some schools want to see you and say, okay, are you really the one behind this portfolio? They want to know. Now, before you start or before you attend a portfolio interview, the first thing the one and only thing that I want you to keep behind at the back of your mind, in your head, is that the person interviewing you is human. Okay, it's not a robot or somebody that came here to fill you. They are human. They just want to interact with you and also know who you are before they accept you to their department. Besides, it is either the course lecturer, the course head of the department that will interview you, or a lecturer in that department. So these people just want to know who you are and see if you qualify. Do I want this person in my department? That is all. So all you need to do is be yourself. Just want to know that, okay, this person, are you qualified to be in my department? Do I want you in this department? All you also need to do is to be able to convince them. Be yourself as much as possible. Convince them that this is what you are interested in, this is your passion, and I assure you that your interview will go well. Because even if you don't know the answers to the questions that they're asking you, as long as they see that you are interested in the course, like you are really, really invested in this thing, they just want, they don't want anybody that just come to their course and just be nonchalant. They want somebody that is actually interested. You are willing to learn. So once they see that, okay, you don't know the answer to this question, fine, but you are willing to learn it, they would also open their arms to you and say, okay, come. Anyways, I'm going to be giving some questions that I was asked during my interview. I did interview with about 5 UK universities. I did with Falmouth, I did with Greenwich, I did with Salford, I did with AUB, and I did with UEL. So I have experience. Even though the University of East London's interview was a call, I was not even expecting it. I was seeing a movie, I just picked the call and they were asking me so many questions about my portfolio. I was not expecting that. It was even in the night, they were like 7 p.m, no jokes. Anyway, so the like standard things that, especially if you're an international student, or I don't even know, maybe for everybody, there are standard things they will ask you about your portfolio. The first thing is your final year project. They want to know what did you design in your final year project, and they want to see it in your portfolio. So please, whatever you're doing, don't forget to add your final year project to your portfolio. Even if it's in pencil, they want to see it. Even if it's not inked, even if it is not on a card design, include it in your portfolio as long as it is there and you can defend it. The Coco is for you to be able to defend anything that is in your portfolio. So as long as it is there and you can defend it, include it in your portfolio. Secondly, they want to see your interests. Interest in terms of do you like photography? Do you like videography? All these things that are related to architecture. if you're somebody that likes to take photographs, take as much as, you know, the good ones, not as much as you can. The good ones I know, okay, this speaks that I am interested in photography. Include it in your portfolio. These are things that they are interested in. Thirdly, they want to see your design process, your design thoughts. How did you get about? How do you arrive at your design? They want to see sketches. They want to see all those counseling things, all those sketches, all your design process. In short, how did you get there? What's English now? What things did you consider before you got to this point? Even if it's just a jotter that I used to do your sketch, scan the jotter and put it in your portfolio. These are things that they are very excited about. They want to know that, okay, you don't bring finished work in your, don't just put finished designs in your portfolio. Put the process. How did you arrive here? Is it a concept? Did you use a bottle as a concept? Okay, how did you get to this conceptual realization? Everything should be included in your portfolio because they would ask about it. Another thing they would ask about is your research. If your research in your final project, in your final year project, that's your previous whatever. I mean, I did BSc, so in my BSc they ask about my research topic, and they'll tell you to say a little thing about this topic. If you cannot remember your research topic, I mean, you cannot remember the things you wrote, you better go and start checking it out. I know I did not remember, but glory to God that is a, you know, broad course that you can just bubble people in sustainability and green architecture. Even in the world does not know about sustainability and green architecture at this current stage of life that we are. So I was able to say things and just, you know, switch them up. So they would ask about these things. So you should check out your research topic and know about it. And I was also asked about what I would like to do in my final year project if I am taking on this course. So they are asking me that, okay, if we take you in this department, what will you like to design as your final year project? This is something that I'd never thought of. I just wanted to even get there first. But you have to say something. But if you don't know, also say you don't know. You can say, okay, I'm not actually sure, but I want to base on health. So anything regarding hospital, physiotherapy, or gym, anything. Or you can say, okay, I'm not actually sure yet, but this is the area that I would like to venture into. So if you don't know, it's not a big deal, but let them know that, okay, you have plans for the future, because they want you to know that. They want to know that you're not just coming here. We're not choosing your final year project for you. You are going to choose yourself. So they want to know that, okay, you are capable of doing it. Once they ask for your final year project, they also ask, okay, what research do you think you will do as your final year project? You should also think about this. You don't have to know specifically. Like I said, you can say, okay, I want to do something around this topic. I want to do something around this area. Be confident when you're talking. Don't let them say that, oh, you don't know something, or you know, you do, or be stuttering, and all of those things. When I did my first interview ever, which was in Greenwich, may that interview rest in perfect peace. It was horrible. I was so scared. Like, it felt like I was doing an interview with the president. I was shaking. I could not answer properly. And all those things just made me to fail the interview. Like, once the interview ended, I knew it from the bottom of my heart that I failed. Whereas I did interview that the time for the interview is 30 minutes. We exceeded the time. The man called me back to continue the interview. That's how sweet it was. So once you are confident and you can speak freely with your interviewer, your interview will go perfectly well. Another thing they would also ask is your work experience. Since you graduated, what have you been doing? Have you been sitting down at home? What have you been doing? If you have been doing work, what's in my interview, I was asked that, okay, what have you learned from your work experience that wasn't taught in your school experience, or what did you learn? What the differences? So they want to know, okay, did you actually work, or you're just lying? They want you to talk about how your work experience has benefited you, and all of those things. Yeah, those are the basic things they asked. Now, I just want to give brief summary about my interview went with all of this school. Yeah, with Greenwich, which was the first interview I ever did. It was bad, you guys. It was horrible. The project, like the project manager, the course leader was the person that did an interview for me. And it's also be nice for you to read about who your course leader is, in case they are the ones that will do. In my case, I already read about this guy, yeah, but I was so nervous. One thing, when the interview started, I didn't even look to check who is interviewing me or check the name of the person. I was so like confused and lost. So he asked me a lot of questions and I was answering. I was so specific, like giving one answer. I said, "Are you working?" "Yes." "No, don't do that." Say, "Oh yes, yes, I've been working. I've been working for 2 years." Speak really, but I was so scared. I was so scared, you guys, no jokes, because this is university I wanted to go to. Like, I really wanted to go to Greenwich, but interview went off. The second interview I had was Falmouth University. This man was so sweet. Like, we talked at length. I cannot even remember what we're talking about, but the interview was fine. My phone rang in the middle of the interview. He told me, "Yo, no, it's fine. Pick your call." Like, because I used my system for my interview. The interview went so well. He asked about my experiences. I told him how my school, they would stress us and we'll use them to draw. He was so excited. Like, from my first interview to my second interview, I think I already learned that, okay, these people are human beings. What you give them is what they will call back to you. If you give them a vibe that, oh, you're not confident in yourself, then they will look at you as someone that is unserious. So before my second interview, I was ready. I've done interview with my friends. They had prepared me for the interview. So the interview went smoothly. When my 30 minutes ended, this man called me back just to say, "Okay, don't worry." He told me straight, during the interview, that don't worry, I'm sending your offer letter straight. I likewise, he was very happy with the way the interview went, and I was happy too. Like, I knew that this interview I've killed it. I've killed it. I also did an interview with Salford University. For Salford, I was not even prepared at all. I already had an offer with Coventry, so I was not like prepared. I was even in my office. Everybody was making noise. I just went to sit down in one corner and did the interview. It was nice. I was asked about my work experiences. They asked me if I had any dependents. What else did they ask me about? My project. They wanted to see my project. The interview went very nice and smoothly. He even told me, okay, you have to do, because in the UK it's rebad, in Nigeria we use Akon. So he was explaining to me how I'll change from Akon to rebad. The interview went very well. I was smiling and blushing. Like, I think I just learned my lesson from that, my first interview. I really learned my lesson. So, and all these interviews, except from the Greenwich interview, which I failed woefully, the rest I done after that, I passed them. Then I did an interview with Arts University Bournemouth. So this one, they were even two that interviewed me, and they were women. You know how we girls used to feel. Once I saw that they were women, I was first like, wait, what? Why? Two, for that matter. But they were so friendly. Like, when the interview started, we were first talking about it, because they said the UK was hot. We were talking about, oh, the UK is very hot, the weather is clinical. I was telling them, oh, you are not seeing anything. It comes to Nigeria, like, we were chit-chatting. Hey, I was chit-chatting with my interviewer, and you people get it, like, we were just... So this one was even the one that was actually the scariest. They asked about sketches and photography things, and I don't have any of this in my portfolio. And they're like, oh, do you have it on your system? You can show us. I was like, oh, I don't have it in my system, but I have it in my book. Can I show you my book? I said, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. So I had to go and find my jotter. You guys, I had to go and find my jotter where I do my drawings and sketches, and I show them, and they were like, oh, okay, we've seen it. Okay, so who is your mentor? But they now told me, okay, these things should be written in your portfolio. Add these things to your portfolio. These are things that we are looking out for, that we want to see. So they asked me for my mentor. I'm so sorry about the background noise. Yeah, Parkinson's. They asked for my mentor. I told them the mentor is Salford. Right? They're like, okay, that's fine. But these are mentors that you cannot reach out to. Who is your mentor where you are? This is something they want to know. Don't just call one great person. And when I said I did click up, and I said, okay, can you tell us about 2 or 3 works they've done? My father. Thank God for Uncle Guru in my life. Thank God for retentive memories, because I went to go and call people now. They say, oh yeah, tell us 3 works that they've done. I shall mention about 2. I don't think I was able to mention 3. I can't remember. But I mentioned 2. Then I said, okay, but do you have any mentor in your university in Nigeria? I said, yes, my lecturers, my dean. They said, okay, because as much as it is great to have a mentor outside of your reach, it's good to have someone that can see you through your designs and all of those things. They were very nice and explanatory. Like, all the things I didn't add in my portfolio, they listed it out. They say, oh yeah, add this to your portfolio. But that interview went very well, but I was still scared, because they asked a lot of things, like my mentor, which was in my portfolio, for photography or whatever I was interested in, because I said I was interested in photography, but it was not in my portfolio. There was no proof. They asked for my sketches, my design process. These things were not in my portfolio, but they understood because I was able to show them from my book and all of those things. So they understood, but I was still scared that, oh, I might not get this admission because the way this interview went, it went bittersweet. Do you get? But I got an admission from them. Really, I got the admission and I was so shocked. They even gave me a 6,000 discount for academic excellence. I don't know which academic excellence, but like the interview was sweet. I really liked the interview because they were women and they were so friendly. Like the beginning of the interview went so well. We were talking about the weather. Like no joke. So also look at the mood of your interviewer, or you can even bring the mood to them. Be the one that will be agile and, you know, excited and happy and say, oh, I've been waiting for this interview, I've read so much about you, as if you have read about them, because they will ask, what have you read about us? Oh, I'm excited to see you, something, I've read this, your research, you know, you are making them already excited in you. They already know that, okay, this is somebody that is serious about this thing, you know what you're doing in this world. And finally, the last interview I did was with UAL, University of East London, but this interview was not official interview, it was on the phone. And I was not even really prepared for it. They were just asking me questions. I can't remember what the questions were, but they were regarding my portfolio. Probably all these things I've also mentioned. So yeah, take note of all of these things. I'll do another video regarding how to do a good portfolio. I'll do another video regarding that in some years when I finally perfected mine, because obviously mine is not perfect yet. So when I finally perfected mine in some years, I'll do a video on how to do a good portfolio. But these are things that you should look out for once you've gotten your unconditional offer, once you've applied, gotten your conditional or unconditional offer, and you are somebody that your course is regarding portfolio, you will do an interview. So I hope I'll be able to give you guys, you know, some tips. I know this interview is really, really particular to architecture students or architectural applicants, but I hope every other person that's applying for any other course, they have a good idea of what I'm trying to say. Yeah? Okay guys, I've come to the end of this video. I hope I'll be able to shed more light on how portfolio interviews go. And really, if you're applying for a course that requires portfolio, your portfolio can make or break your application. I will do another video where they rejected me because of my portfolio, because it was not good enough. Like, I was rejected plenty times, you guys. Not because I had 2-1. I have a good 2-1 in my BSc. But if you're going for courses that require portfolio, your portfolio is what they look at, not your grade. So your portfolio really matters. Yeah? Okay guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys understand, and I wish you success in your coming interview or making your portfolio, either ways. All right, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel to know more about all of these things that I have said. I remain Aduke, the love of your lives. Bye guys.